The year is 2021. I was still in high school, hated it, and spent most of my days alternating between Valorant and Genshin Impact. Grim days. But something way more interesting than my sad life was happening in China at the end of that year. A game called Tower of Fantasy dropped as a Chinese exclusive free-to-play MMO with gacha elements that everyone swore would be the real competition to Genshin. It looked pretty fun and I was hyped for its eventual global release. Fast forward to the summer of 2022 and the game finally comes to global. Every gacha content creator, slightly bored Genshin player, and even people that never played a gacha game in their life like Asmongold at the time, jumped in. It was pretty fun for the first few months, but its hype died down. People found issues with the game that ranged from stupid to outrageous. Why did the chests have time gates, bro? Like, who thought of this? And then Sumer came out in Genshin, and from then on, you would hardly hear about this game anymore. And now, 3 years after its global release, and basically from the last time I played it, wait, that's wrong. I did get Asuka on the Ava collab banner, but that's besides the point. I am now here to try Tower of Fantasy again, and understand if it's perhaps still worth playing in 2025. But before we get to that, I'm gonna let my old self complain. But here's the thing about this game. They changed publishers, I think, in EU. I think just globally, they just changed publishers. And so, if you didn't log into Tower of Fantasy in a certain time period, you just completely lost your account. So, the account I used to play on quite a bit is just gone. So yeah, that's a wonderful way to ensure players don't come back to this game anymore. But since I'm doing it for the sake of the video, here we are. So we start the game and get put into a cutscene that has no voice acting for no apparent reason and is also simultaneously extremely fucking loud. We pick our MC, dish the opposite gender version of us, end up in a cave and get jumped by dogs. After killing them all and skipping the tutorial because all these games play the same anyway, we then get woken up by this girl named Shirley and we can finally gaze upon this wonderful world. Holy shit. I haven't seen this place in actual years.
Your suppressor has been replaced with a new energy cell. Feeling better?
I guess.
Been out for a whole day. I thought you were.
Lip syncing is too costly, I guess.
Surely.
I'm sure nobody's gonna complain that I'm just skipping through this stuff, right? Surely nobody's complaining about this. Astra Shelter. Archiving, memory upload, progress, 4%. Memory upload. Surely that memory upload thing right here won't cause me any confusion in the future and begin my descent into madness for this game, right? Oh? Was that where the little mascot comes from? Yeah! I'll say that, she's way better than Paimon.
Proceed over at any time. This is... Greetings. I am Mia, a fourth generation smart servant.
Not so long story short, we lost our memory and so we're gonna be hanging out here at Astra Shelter. This is Astra Shelter. Say hi to Astra Shelter. Did you actually say hi to it? It can't say hi back, it's a fucking shelter. Is all you can do listen to instructions like a good boy? Huh? Is that what you like, being told what to do? Go ahead and like and subscribe for me like the good boy you are. We're getting sidetracked. Alright, so this is an MMO, right? In MMOs, character creators are a must, and this game is no exception. You think the character creator would be at the beginning of the game, not after other people have already met you, but it's whatever. And so I spent 20 minutes just to get my character to look passably similar to me, while raging over the fact that there's hair that would be perfect, but that I can't fucking use. Outfit does not match the hair. Choose another hair. Fuck you, man. Yeah, the character creator is just okay. So after changing my facial features enough to start a new life in Nicaragua, as per every video game, our first task is to do chores. From chores in real life to doing chores in the game world. I love escapism. Anyway, we get attacked by some robot, spider, bacteriophage looking things, so we can learn this game's all-in-one character and weapon equipment system. It's based around 3 weapons to equip and switch in between. Generally, you want to run weapons of the same class to get their corresponding bonus. One to play healer, one to play DPS, and last to play tank. This is an MMO, boys. After beating the clankers and still not paying attention to the story, I got a jetpack. And that's actually cool because one of the best things in this game is these gadgets that allow you to move in many different ways, making explorations much more dynamic than any other gacha game on the market, really. And now we're just free to explore to get to the Omnium Tower, which will act as your Sheikah Tower and reveal the area on the map. You know the drill. Oh, I didn't want to skip. I actually did not want to skip. After that, we're told to go to some location to get rid of some homeless people and their pet metal dinosaur. And with this, we unlock the gacha. Finally! So anyway, I got distracted and started looking at the character designs. They're okay, some are cool. This design is actually kind of cool.
Hey, over here.
Wait, low-key? This design is nice. There has been no new 4-star since the last time since when I played. What the fuck? You were in the game in 2021, you also were, and there's no 4 stars. Guess we know where HSRs learned that trick. And so now we have access to the gacha screen. Take a very good look at it right now because we won't be seeing it much for the remainder of this video. You see, apparently in your first day you barely get any currency to pull with because you're supposed to log in for what, 2 weeks and just explore. Which, I mean, it's definitely not my case, and you'll see why exploring just wasn't an option in my brain very soon. I hope you guys haven't forgotten that this is an MMO because we finally encountered another player. Woohoo! Let's see how that went. So now what? Wait, that's a player. That's a real human being. Hello? Hello? Let's just follow this guy. The person disappeared and I hit the mic. Yeah. I'll get back to this at the end of the video, but the low player count is really not helping the game. Skipping ahead and surely got aberration. What is it? Basically every character in the world has this thing called a suppressor, and well, if it breaks, you get turbo cancer. And so now Zeke, Shirley's older brother, is gonna bring her to some sketchy people to try and save her, while us, the protagonists, want to find where the fuck he brought her. And that's the premise for the rest of the story of the first map, but we won't be seeing that today, properly at least, because here's the part where all that foreshadowing pays off. Franz, this guy, brings us to Hycross, which I'm not even sure what they exactly are, but I guess we'll call them the interdimensional police. It brings us here because it's likely that we might have been an agent for them before losing our memory, so we get there, almost get the American police treatment, but not just a prank, bro. After a bit of dialogue nobody cares about, we are now re-established as a part of Hycross, I guess, and then a weird skip. We see scenes from the first chapter, I guess, of the story, which we didn't even get to, spoiling the only interesting thing to happen in that whole story, that Shirley has now become Nemesis. Which, to be fair, even the devs on day 1 of the game had Shirley Nemesis loading screens, so they really didn't give a fuck. And then, memory upload successful. Fuck that mean? What do you mean in the past, bro? This hasn't happened yet. Wait. Did we just skip the entirety of the first part of the story? Is that what happened? It just completely skipped, no? Shirley. Hello? Yo, what the fuck? The story is done. I guess they've just figured that the first part of the story is so ass, they just had to skip it. This is the new world. So I guess it's just, it's non-required anymore. That's very interesting. Very interesting is definitely one of the ways to put it. So I don't know when they added this, but apparently they just have you skip 70% of the first map story to send you to the second planet. And now that part that you've missed is a memory you can go back to. As much as that story is ass, I very much disliked how they went about this. Because really the point of the story is to get you to explore around, but instead you're told to go to a new world when you probably haven't even left the first fucking island of the game. But anyway, I went to the new world, which is just a big ass desert which contains nice city inside of Ramiel from Evangelion. This city is pretty cool, but I was just kinda checked out by that point. I kept playing for a few hours, but as I completely skipped the first half of the story and didn't really know what was going on in this, and as the desert was kinda just boring for me, I just stopped. And that's all I played. I wanted to get back into it a few more times before making this video, but honestly, the more I thought about it, the more it felt like a chore, and so I just haven't played since that stream. I don't want to end it on a bad note, because truthfully I don't think this game is terrible. I loved this game when it first came out. I think that by far the biggest pro of this game is in the exploration. While I don't think the world looks necessarily stellar, the amount of things to see, do, and explore with so many movement options and so many worlds I didn't even get to is definitely good. But it was even better when there were other people around exploring. And I think here I realized what I was truly missing from my first run of TOF. Shout out to my old account that got wiped, and fuck you Perfect World Games. There's just nobody around. This is supposed to be an MMO. Back when I played, I could go anywhere and find a lot of people running around exploring, doing their own thing, forming guilds, beating world bosses and raids, which I didn't even get to play on this stream because I was so confused after the memory upload bullshit. But now it's just deserted and with hardly any new players to take on early game things with. And it all kinda just feels like Genshin with better movement and worse graphics. And I know it's not necessarily the fault of the game that people aren't playing. Actually, scratch that. The game wasn't good enough to hold popularity, and that's just a fact. And even though the unfortunate fact that people aren't playing doesn't undermine what can be considered fun in this game, it makes it a heck of a lot worse because of the genre of the game. It's an MMO, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Tower of Fantasy isn't quote-unquote dead because it was unplayably bad. It's dead because it was truly the definition of mid. Not bad, not great, just middle of the pack. And we've all played mid games before and stuck with them for way too long because our friends were on them, but without anyone else to play with, or a real felt community of sorts. And I'm sure there's gonna be the 3 TUF players left in the comments saying that the community is still there. Where are they? Either way, without anyone else around, it's just gonna be very easy for me to just stop. The socializing aspect is extremely important in MMOs, whether you want to admit it or not. It's half the reason why people stick to their MMO of choice for 10 years. The other half is like nostalgia and a bit of Stockholm Syndrome. That kind of loyalty is just not gonna happen in 2025 with Tower of Fantasy. There's just not enough people. With all due respect, is there any need for the game to have like 8 separate servers when it averages like 600 players on a good day? Splitting the few players that are left, making it feel overall even more deserted than it already is. Are we being dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? And things of that nature are what will make it in the eyes of any new player looking for a good MMO experience just extremely forgettable. And I keep repeating this term because being bad and being forgettable aren't the same thing. And even though I haven't forgotten about it because a lot of it, as I said, was and still is good, I come from a time where the MMO experience was genuinely there to be had. A new player today can't. You've seen me try it for myself in this fucking video. The game is not gonna go end of service anytime soon for Doom posters, but there's definitely a reason why Hotta recognized that they have to make a gachaless server. And if that's gonna help the game return to form, then I'm all for it. If you want more videos like these, let me know. Have you ever played Tower of Fantasy? Maybe you still played it, enjoy it thoroughly, and disagree with some of my points. Which game should I take on next time? I know I haven't done a trying a new gacha video in a hot minute, but if there's a game you think I should pick up, drop it down below because apparently juggling 9 gacha games already isn't enough for me. Also, join the Discord, I need people to yap to, come on. Thank you for watching to the end, not many of you do that, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.